Hi everyone, welcome back with me PT Gamers, and in this video we will talk about Seele. Why? Because this character is coming back today on October 27th along with Topaz banner. Seele was the first character to appear on the limited banner in the game Honkai Star Rail 1.0 back then. This character is still very popular until today because apart from the design which is quite catchy, the damage that she can give is really huge. So she can carry us, especially when you guys are pretty new on this game. So without further ado, let's begin. As we already know, Seele is one of the characters with the best single target in this game. Has a very high speed, has huge single target damage, and can attack multiple times with the talent she has. She is a very good character when facing boss enemies who tend to only have one or two enemies in the most situations. First, Thwack. This is just a normal attack, just like the other characters, nothing special. And next, Sheathed Blade. This skill is really good on Seele, has a huge damage, and it can give Seele an increasing speed. If you wear her Lightcones, this skill can boost up damage through her increased speed, because the higher speed you have, the higher damage you can give. And next, Butterfly Flurry. Seele enters the buffed state and deals quantum damage of her attack to a single enemy. The first time you see it, this ultimate skill doesn't look like there's anything special. It only gives large single damage target. But don't be mistaken, this skill can provide a buff to Seele, and the buff can give Seele a very huge attack. Apart from that, this skill can make the talent skill called Resurgence active, so don't underestimate it. And next, Resurgence. This talent is the best skill in Seele's kit. With this talent, Seele can get multiple turns by simply defeating her enemy with basic attack, skills, or ultimate. If Seele succeeds in defeating his enemy, Seele will get a buff that can increase attack for 1 turn. After using her technique, Seele gains stealth for 20 seconds. While stealth is active, Seele cannot be detected by enemies. And when entering battle by attacking enemies, Seele will immediately enter the buffed state. So it's pretty good when you want to avoid enemies, I think. And next we will talk about Ascension ability and Trace's priority. First, Nightshades. This Ascension ability makes Seele can survive a bit more. At least, she has a lower chance of being attacked by a single target attack, but not from AoE attacks. And next, Lacerate. When Seele is in the buffed state, her quantum resistance penetrations increased by 20%, making her damage will go even higher. And last thing is Rippling Waves. After using basic attack, Seele's next action will be advanced forward by 20%. This is pretty good for Seele, it makes Seele get turned faster. If you have seen Seele's entire kit, Seele relies heavily on talent called Resurgence. So it's clear that this talent must be priority to improve, if you can't maximize it. Each level of this talent can give Seele a higher attack buff. After increasing your talent, you can increase your ultimate and skills without needing to maximize your basic attack. Actually, without Eidolons, Seele can be used well. The addition of Eidolons from Seele does make Seele's kit even better, but they are only optional. Without Eidolon, I think Seele's kit is pretty much perfect. On Eidolons 1, Seele can increase the critical hit rate by 15% if it deals damage to enemies whose HP is below 80%. This is quite good if we are fighting the boss that usually takes a long time to kill. And next, for Eidolons 2, for me personally, this is the best Eidolons upgrade among all the existing upgrades. Because in Eidolon 2, Seele can get a speed increase of 2 stacks. So the damage produced by Seele if you use her Lightcones will increase drastically. Apart from that, the increase in speed will make the turns of the Seele faster. For Eidolons 4, Seele will get additional 15 energy if she defeats an enemy. Quite good if used against a large number of enemies, but not very effective if against a small number of enemies. And last, for Eidolons 6, when Seele uses her ultimate skills, the enemy will get a debuff called Butterfly Flurry for 1 turn. And every time the enemy is attacked, the enemy will get damage from Seele equal to 15% of Seele's ultimate damage. I think it's pretty good. Okay, now we will talk about Relic stat. Because Seele is a character with a DPS main role, the main stats and substats that you have to look for must be related to the DPS role and can support that function. For shoes, you will look for speed, for body you will look for critical rate or damage, rope for attack percentage, and sphere you can look for quantum damage, of course. And for substat, you can look for critical rate, critical damage, attack percentage, and speed. Okay, now we will talk about relics and ornament. First, for relic set, I suggest you using the set named Genius of Brilliant Stars. This set is the most suitable set compared to the other set because in this set, it can increase quantum damage by 10%. And when you deal damage to the enemy, you will be able to ignore 10% of defense, and if the enemy has a quantum element weakness, then there will be ignores 10% defense. As for the ornament part, you can use Rutilon Arena. This ornament set is very good if used by Seele because it can increase damage from basic attacks and also skill damage. But the drawback of this set is that it requires a fairly high critical rate, 70% critical rate. If you don't have Rutilon Arena, you can use Space Shielding Station. This ornament set is the easiest ornament set to use because the base speed of Seele is quite high already. So reaching 120 speed is very easy for us. The status effect given is also quite good. Additional 24% attack bonus. Okay, now we will talk about the Lightcones that you can use. Here I will give you several Lightcones options that you can use according to the Lightcones you have. First, in the night. These Lightcones are the best Lightcones that you can use for Seele. These Lightcones can increase critical rate 18%, and for every 10 speed that exceeds 100, the damage of the wearer's basic attack and skills increased by 6%, and critical damage of their ultimate skills is increased by 12%. This effect can stack up to 6 times, so it's really good for Seele. The second option that you can use is Sleep Like the Dead, which is a Lightcone that can increase critical damage and critical rate. Apart from that, you can also get these Lightcones in the game, so it can be a good choice. And for the last thing, you can use Cruising in the Stellar Sea. This Lightcone is also quite good if used by Seele because it can increase critical rate very high. Honestly, Seele as a DPS character is very likely to be paired with anyone in any party. However, there are several characters that are very suitable when paired with Seele, including first, Silver Wolf. Why Silver Wolf? Because Silver Wolf can ignore the elemental weakness of enemies. With a team consisting of quantum characters, Silver Wolf will have no problem implanting a quantum weaknesses on any enemies. Seele can capitalize on this and deal a lot of quantum damage and easily break enemy weaknesses. So Silver Wolf can increase damage from Seele very easily. Second, Bronya. Bronya can give offensive buff into Seele for consecutive extra turns of massive burst damage before the full turn cycle completes. So it's really great if we pair Seele with Bronya in the same team. And for the last thing is Asta. This one is a free-to-play version character that you can pair with Seele on the same team. Asta can provide speed and attack percentage buff for Seele to make Seele turn combat faster. Okay guys, after you have listened to my explanation regarding the build of Seele, here I will give you the pros and cons for this character. First, pros. Can be used in almost all team compositions because it does not require special requirement. However, it is better if paired with a character who can provide more support such as Silver Wolf. And for next, the single target damage given is very high, so it's very suitable for fighting bosses. Very high speed, make the turns out quickly, and she has passive skill that can reduce the possibility of receiving an attack when HP is below 50%, making Seele's survival ability is quite good. For cons, she has no area attacks at all, and she does not have any buffs that can given to the other party members, or you could say that this character really prioritizes buffing herself, and she requires high speed to make the build working well. Okay guys, so maybe that's a complete guide regarding the character named Seele. I hope this video can help you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video.